What's up, everybody? This is Versus episode 50 something. We're up there. I'm John Marr. That's Will Cohen. Will, how's it going this week?
It's going all right. You know, this film almost felt like an April Fool's joke. I'm not gonna lie, or at least it feels like the characters are playing like just really like weird, sinister April Fool's joke on everyone. Uh, we're of course talking about. And I I hate this title more than I hate anyone else. Like almost any other ITN film. Bad Nun 2 Deadly Vows.
You knew I would come back.
Pop her down and then chuck some of these boxes inside, will you?
What do you think that can be?
I'll get it.
Hello?
Hello?
I brought you a moving in gift.
They were left outside.
Identify yourself, please.
The sinners will be named for their crimes. Justice will be served.
We need to get out of here, come on!
Sure to do some fancy editing in that trailer to make it look like a little more suspenseful than it really is. I'll say that much.
Right.
So they kind of, I mean, man, all these movies are just exactly the fucking same. It's really ridiculous at this point because like we watched a lot of movies that came after this movie. This movie was in 2020, but they've repeated this bullshit into like 2022, 2023, 2024. There's this the ITN family does like this nonsense, and I'm not saying other horror movies didn't do it. Like even good horror movies do this, but it bothers me. Like we need to tie up these loose ends, no matter how loose they are. We can't have people survive. So they have the main character from the first movie. She's just hanging out at the beginning of the movie with her boyfriend. And the nuns just kind of sweep in and kill her, just to tidy things up, so we can move to a new location. Which is like you could have also just not done that. It's kind of stupid. I don't know. It's just
Well,
it's a pet peeve of mine.
what's even dumber about the cold open, and this is keep in mind this is something that is literally repeated multiple times. You even see this in the trailer. That there's a knock on the door. They literally start unlatching the door. All the nun has to do to gain access, very quick access to the house, is just shut the fuck up. That's all she has to do. But she hears the lock. All of a sudden, then that says to her brain, "Oh, now I get to start doing some creepy shit, right?" Well, that's like maybe with the door.
Yeah, I'm not a locksmith either, but like there's a lot of so much inconsistency because there's nothing supernatural going on here. Like we see even in the first scene, the nuns just seem to always have keys to the houses, right?
You have 10 seconds to open up this door, Aesha. Or I will have to open it myself.
But then some of these houses have like deadbolt latches on the inside that aren't even by keys. They're like hand thrown bolts. So even
Right.
even if you had a key, you can't get in that door. But let's just assume that latch isn't thrown. In the first scene, The nun must let themselves in, go upstairs, kill her boyfriend, and then
And then
go
goes
back
back
outside
outside.
and lock the door behind yourself so you can knock on the front door again. Like, why? Why would you do that?
And it's not the only time the nun does this in this movie.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit more in detail, but Jesus Christ. Like, this. There are times that this movie makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The shit at the door is not one of them.
Yeah, all the door mechanics, we could just, I'll let you know, none of the door mechanics of this movie ever makes sense. The plot itself is, okay, we've done away with Aesha. Aisha's dead, so never mind that.
Nice to see you again, Aesha.
But we are still embroiled in this whole thing, and the plot remains. There was a convent full of nuns, and like every nun in that convent was a like Mary Kay Letourneau pedophile. Apparently, all of them. They beat the kids. They fondled the kids. They whatever you could do to a kid, they did it. And there were multiple kids, and all the nuns got away with it. It's like that's what you have to. Once you believe all that, that's our jumping off point.
Yeah, apparently, like they want us to believe that this is in England. It's like, no, for the amount of molestation that's going on, this was definitely in Boston. Not well, the molestation thing. We'll get into this, we'll get into that. I will say that's one of the more realistic things that happens in this movie. Like, first we find we find out that the killer from the first film now all of a sudden has dissociative identity disorder.
Like, he dressed as a nun. But I wouldn't worry about that. Like I said, he was caught.
Which, John, you're in the the psychology field. You're in the psychology field. Did he actually have did he actually have DID, or is that just something that someone just saw on a piece of paper and decided, hey, he has that?
That's got to be retconned, because in the first movie and in this movie, like they don't have DID because they're letting everyone know that they're just doing a voice. Like, he clearly was just doing the voice because he could
Right.
do the voice. That doesn't mean you have DID. He would have to physically not physically, like mentally become that person. Like in Split, like he would have
Right.
to change personalities, which never happened in the first movie. He was always
No.
very, very cognizant of what he was doing. He was putting on the voice on purpose. So no. Was he criminally insane? Sure. Did he have DID? I don't think so.
No, I don't think he did. Based on my limited knowledge of it, he 100% did not have this. So that's bullshit thing number one.
He is locked away for the rest of his life. So we know that he's not the killer now.
Second thing. What fucking dumbass realtor are all of these people dealing with? Where, hey, there was a recent murder. Let's get someone in there immediately after this fucking murder.
We just moved into the old Cotswold cottage.
Oh, congratulations. That place has been looking for a buyer for quite some time.
Yeah.
Spoiler, because there's two killers in this movie. One of them is, who gives a shit if we're spoiling? One of them is like the priest of the church down the road.
Tell me your sins, sister.
And
yeah, the former priest of the former church,
yeah.
And the other guy is the cop.
Did this nun do anything particularly suspicious?
This is the other thing that just drives me up the wall. Like the first one, the cops somehow are even less effective here at their jobs.
And this is in London. This takes place in London, so they should be responding.
Oh no, we'll get to you in 10 minutes. It's like,
how?
I'm in the city proper. What the hell? No.
Yeah.
So, but of course, this has to be some kind of backwoods, suburb of London, because they still have a church that's being closed down. So it's like this is obviously not metropolitan, like the metropolitan London by any stretch of the imagination. But still, even when you're in a London suburb, the cops are still present. There's still a cop presence.
Right, but
And they're
here,
actually doing something.
Here we'll lay all the cards on the table so we can just see how nonsensical this plot is. So it turns out that the grandmother, it's a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter, because they always move together.
Of course.
The grandmother actually is one of the nuns that was referenced in the first movie. She is Sister
Cindy Lamb.
Sister Cindy Lamb, right? But she changed her name because she was like not like full on. I mean, she denies being like a rapey one. She says she was just like a witness and she turned a blind eye. But then at the end, she's telling everybody that they deserved it.
The way you behaved.
So I don't know. I'm guessing she was a raper as well. So turns out she changed her name, had a family, generations of the family. But they all happen to move back to the house that's next to a church where a priest who was one of the boys that was molested is there, and a cop was hired in the same town who was a boy molested. Like, it's like the leaps of like single-digit percentage chance things happening is like, because they didn't like, unless they rigged all that. That would mean like they have to go through police. One guy went to seminary, one guy went to the police academy just to rig all this, in the chance that they might move into that house. It's fucking stupid.
I mean, like for the lack of separation of church and state, this might as well have been filmed in Utah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, guys, come on, what are we doing here? But like they really try to delve into like the family dynamics. It's like the mom and the grandma are just being like bitches to the daughter, to the youngest, Cathy, or she's credited as Catherine on IMDb, but she's never referred to as Catherine. It's always Cathy, which I always find very weird.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, they're like, oh, maybe Cathy is a lesbian.
I think she is, right? Because then she dates the girl.
Well,
they're definitely talking like, oh, you guys could be a couple. It's like, okay, cool, she's a lesbian, whatever.
So, this girl from earlier.
Wait, is this why you're getting me drunk, to try get me to spill my secret?
Your grandmother always has a grand plan.
Well, she was kind of cute.
It's like, yeah, that's just kind of like thrown in there because the times, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 2020. One of these characters has to be a lesbian. And then there's the girl from, like, I guess she lives down the road, and her dad, who have nothing to do with anything. They definitely are not either nuns nor survivors, yet the nuns go after them too for like they're not tied to it. Like, they're outside of the mythos of the movie.
I mean, there is a third one, so maybe we'll find out that they're not like separated from it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
But, like, the fact that the dad and the daughter got attacked at all when they are not victims nor families of the nuns. Like,
I mean, to be fair, like that, like those two kills not making any sense compared to any of the kills from the first one not making any sense, technically is an improvement in the right direction, but with everything else not making sense, it does feel more like a lateral move.
Well, they do explain the first movie and the second movie. It's like, oh, Dan went after all the nuns. He killed the nuns. Obviously, he missed one because you have this movie where one of the ladies is a nun, but I digress. And it's like, and then after he was done on his revenge tour, he just decided like to lure women to his house to kill them. It's like,
which I can understand the first two, but the French woman, like we know nothing about like why she's evil. So that again makes no fucking sense whatsoever. If you're gonna do that,
they're very rude to Americans,
dude. If you're gonna do that, Germany was right there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luis. Germany was right there.
Yeah. So we, I mean, there's not much even more to say about this movie. So like,
no.
We find out that the grandmother is is like the last remaining, like, sympathizer. They kidnap them all. They kill the mom. Poor mom. come. And then the granddaughter and the grandmother are like tied up, and then they escape. The granddaughter feigns like she's gonna kill her grandmother. Then they escape. There's a fight. Everyone's getting stabby, stabby, stabby. It looks like they're gonna escape, and then in the 11th hour, the granddaughter like slams the door in the grandmother's face and is like, "Fuck you, grandma." And lets the guys kill her. Like after they've stabbed them and fought them. Like I'm gonna stab you and fight you. And she watched her grandmother beat the freaking guy with the giant freaking candle holder, and then like literally closes her in there and they get killed. And she walks out the door, and Nancy, the girlfriend who had gotten stabbed earlier, pulls a Mindy Meeks, and she's fine, and the cop cars are going, and that's how it ends. Can't wait for part 3.
Yeah. There's literally nothing else to talk about.
No, let's just get on to it. I'll go first, I guess. I mean, like I said in my review on Letterboxd, this isn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but it also just like it's just didn't need to even be made. It's like it's a color by numbers ITN distribution movie. Like literally, it is. It's like, let me in, I'm gonna fucking kill you, which is like every other movie. So 1.5, just like I rate the rest of your goddamn movies. That's the ceiling, unless it's spectacular. Will?
I gave this 2. Again, maybe it's just because I'm just desensitized to this formula. Is it like this one? Let's just be honest, is worse than the first, than The Bad Nun, because at least The Bad Nun is just a psycho killer movie. This, they try to explain things a little bit more, and I think I might have liked this one more.
I think I might have liked this one more just because it felt like it was a little more put together than the first one. But
I definitely give kudos to that. And if you look at my Letterboxd review, I did say that this film, like, at least did some things correctly, essentially. But for everything that they did right, they did at least 3 things wrong. And this film is only 90 minutes long, so to do that many things wrong is pretty lame. But ITN distribution during like pre Blood and Honey just wasn't doing anything right.
Yeah.
So this really shouldn't be surprising. So 2 tapes, it's fine. 2.
Well, if you made this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Go to the Letterboxd challenge there. 52 prompts. You can watch the movies. Let us know what you're watching. And next week we're doing Bad Nun 3 because there's a third one. I can't wait to see how it fits into the mythos this fine mythology we've built around the Bad Nun. Schedule is always the same. Sunday, my daughter does a show, Why Liv Loves Horror. It's very short. She just sits there and talks about a movie for like 5 to 7 minutes. Not much of your day taken away. Monday is the show that Will and I do for ourselves. It's our vanity project because we're the only people that watch it, I think. So thank you, Will, for watching, and thank you, John, for watching. We love it. And then Thursday, the flagship show, Why We Love Horror. We're doing Hell of a Summer this week. And then Friday, it's Why We Love Horror. You get one Why We Love Horror episode, and then the debut of Why We Love Horror Trivia Jeopardy. So that'll be happening this week. And until next time, I am John Marr, and that is Will Cohn. We'll see you next week on Versus.